Shalom Aleichem. So we're going through the 30 things that we should be contemplating. Hitbonenut, the powerful Jewish meditative device of contemplation. Thinking about life, taking a moment, not just going through life, getting up, going to your job, coming home from your job, doing this. Most people, unfortunately, are quite robotic in their lives, and they're just going through their life and doing what they do, and they've got their habits and their things, and they're just going. Very few people stop to think. Thinking is a real thing. Take a little bit of time to think. Is that really true? Do I really believe that? Just people are just going with whatever is happening. It's amazing. So, there's a pistachio there. So we did number 1 yesterday was just contemplate the fact, A, that you exist, and B, the fact that it's not random. You came out of nothing, and therefore how much you have to be grateful for. Number 2, do you have the book? Did anyone bring the book? Because you can start bringing the book now, because I'm actually going to go according to the book this time. It's a crazy idea, Alec. Hasheni Cheshbon Adam im nafsho begoidel tevus Elokim alav bechibo gufo. Thinking about the wonders of your body. Mind blowing. Now we say a blessing every time we use the bathroom, after the bathroom. Now I lived in many different cultures. I lived in London, England, secular Western culture. And then I lived in Southeast Asia for 6 years, in Thailand and Korea and Japan and India and Nepal and many places. And I studied Buddhism and taught Buddhism and Hinduism and Islam and Christianity and many, many different things I studied. And many cultures have a blessing before they eat. Many cultures. When I was in my Buddhist temple in Thailand, we basically said, I am eating before we ate. I am eating this food not for pleasure and not for play, but to sustain my body so I can live a conscious life, something like that. In my school, growing up, it was about 30% Jewish actually, but it was a more Christian-y type school. They said before we ate, for every cup and plateful, may we be truly grateful. Like that. Not one other culture on the face of the planet has a blessing you make after leaving the bathroom that I've seen, that I've come across. And what do we say? We say, Reifeh chol basar mafli lasot. This is unbelievable. The body is miraculous. Miraculous. Chalolim, kulam b'chochma asita. Hashem, you made the body with immense wisdom. He created humans with immense wisdom. Now, this is my favorite one, and I've shared it with you a few times. But DNA. DNA is mind-blowing. What does DNA stand for? Dana. Dana. No one knows. Dioxyribonucleic acid. Something like that. But DNA is what I think it stands for. DNA is the program in each cell. Now, I did some research yesterday because I was so excited. You got like 100 trillion cells. By the way, those 100 trillion cells, they all came from one cell. You started as one cell, and it divided, and divided 100 trillion cells in your body, and that 300 billion new cells every day, and 300 million die each day and change. Your body completely changes every 7 years. You don't have one same cell in your body every 7 years, but you still look basically the same. You can tell it's you. Now, who programmed I did this? Look, what's this? In each of those billions of cells, you've got, and they're microscopic, You got a whole like metropolis of systems and highways and superhighways and sending information. You know how much information in one cell? I think there's more information in one cell than in like a supercomputer and cell division. And then the cells can communicate with each other. Somehow they send little messages that, hey, I need you to do that. Like, back me up, man. I'm going in. I'm creating a nose here. I need you to come with me. We need more nose cells. If you're Jewish, you get extra special nose cells in there. Each cell has a specific function. There are nerve cells, and there are different blood cells, and then white blood cells. So there's like a very large variety of different cells, all doing exactly what it's like. A perfect army of 100 trillion highly trained master soldiers. Now, how did that happen? What makes your nose, and your toes, Basically, what is different in the DNA between your 100 trillion cells? You've got 100 trillion cells. Some of them are blood cells, some of them are nerve cells, some of them are white blood cells, some of them are nose, some of them are ear, some of them are knee, some of them are bone, some of them are blood, some of them are toes. So there's 1 trillion different cells, billions of different processes and roles and jobs and places on the body and functions. What's different in the DNA between their cells? Nothing! They all have exactly the same program. They all have the same DNA. DNA is DNA. But with the same DNA, that same DNA produces billions of different things. Functions and body parts and organs and in exactly the right amount. So you had to develop your liver. Your liver had to develop, but you need, I don't know how many cells in a liver, but let's say 1 billion cells in a liver. So 1 billion of your cells just manifested liver information. And that one did top left corner of liver, and that did middle of liver, and that did that. And what within the liver, there's 1 billion things going on in the liver. The liver has 400 different functions. The fun is detoxifying and making bio this, and it's filtering, and it's doing, the liver's doing a crazy thing. If you lose 2/3 of your liver, you can still survive, it's still doing what it does, and it grows back within a month. Cut off 2/3 of your liver, that's going to grow back within a month. By the way, how do things grow back? That's cell division. Cell division and repairing itself and fixing itself and knowing what it needs. That's phenomenal. So, however many cells, the DNA in those cells have created nose. And nose in general goes in middle of face. That's where it is. I'm looking around the room. One of you is a little bit funny, maybe. But nose goes in middle of face. And you don't get a toe in the middle of your face and a nose on your foot. How? How is that? That's mind-blowing. That's mind-blowing. So the exact amount of toe cells made toes and the big toe and the middle and the little and then the little toe on your feet in the right order. That's now they asked Crick, Watson and Crick discovered DNA. They didn't really, an old Jewish woman did, but they didn't give her credit. And they said to him, very, very, very big atheists, so they said, how do you explain this? So do you know what he said? In writing, black and white, I have it. I have the article. He said, it was brought to Earth by a higher alien life form. That was his answer. That's what he says. This is a Nobel Prize winning biologist, physicist, whatever he was.
Where did they get it from?
Exactly.
Even if he's right.
Even if he's right, who made the aliens' DNA? Weirdos. Okay, what else did I do? I did this. Your brain is made up of 80% water, and it's a supercomputer. It can contain more information than the biggest supercomputer. It only works on about 12 watts of power, though. That was just a tiny little light. But just on that is controlling everything. Messages going at 170 miles an hour through your brain. You got 60,000 miles of veins, and your blood travels 12,000 miles a day. Your heart pumps blood so hard that it could squirt for 30 feet. the heat that's produced by your heart would kill you if there wasn't this insulating bag around it. Your blood cells each have valves, so the blood only flows in one direction. Have you ever done that thing where you hold it down there and you push your blood away and it doesn't flow back? And then do it now. Find a thing. No, it's great. And you can push the blood away. Look, push the blood, and then you let it go, vroom, and you see the blood coming back in. If you took all of the veins in your body and you stretched them out from end to end and end to end to end, you'd die. I made that one up. I thought that was funny. But yeah, it would wrap around the world like 1 billion times, whatever. Each inch of skin, 36 heat sensors, 75 pressure sensors. Eyes can distinguish between 7 million color surfaces. More info than the largest telescope. Your lung surface area is the size of a tennis court. You've got a lung surface area the size of a tennis court in there. That's bringing oxygen to everything. Your fingerprints you get within 3 months in the womb, pregnancy. And you've got your own tongue print, by the way. Everyone's got an individual tongue print. That's what we should do from now on. Mother's milk. What is mother's milk made of? Blood. It's made of blood.
Isn't all milk blood?
Yeah. Basically, how can blood turn into milk? Now, what's extra cool is the milk that the mother gives, then, based on the sucking and the saliva of the baby, actually changes what it needs. It's like, oh, this baby needs a little bit more calcium, this baby needs it. So it responds to the child. That's unbelievable. When you breathe in, you inhale, you generally inhale only through one nostril. Keeps changing.
Is that why when you get stuffy noses that it's only like one of ours works?
Even when you don't have a stuffy nose, you're generally, unless you're consciously trying to breathe through both nostrils, you're generally only breathing through one nostril at a time. When I lived in India, we used to do pranayama and block a nostril and breathe just through that one for a bit, and then you can change it. Because it's chesed and gevura, actually. That's not what they said. But there's different, your neshama is your neshima. Breath is neshima. Soul is neshama. We each have a unique smell. Apart from identical twins, they have the same smell. But you could smell someone. And I think Helen Keller is one of my favorite people. Basically deaf, dumb, blind, everything, and became this unbelievable poet, feminist. I don't know how it works. I'm obsessed with her. I used to research her the whole time. But she could smell who was coming into the room.
Well, doesn't that your senses feel heightened?
Pardon?
You sense the heightened.
There you go. Yeah. Saliva protects you from infections, starts digestions. Your nose can remember over 50,000 different smells.
Whoa.
And it's amazing what's going on in the senses in your nose, and that can take you back to a memory. Smells amazing that you're like, wow, that reminds me when I was 6 and we went on holiday to there, and your nose in itself is a miracle. This is just random, but I thought it was funny. We have the same 60% DNA as bananas. 60% of your DNA is the same as banana DNA. I don't know what that means, but I thought it was funny. Balance, the whole balance system. God bless you, Charles. Why do we sneeze? Sneezing is unbelievable. That just got rid of something you needed to get rid of. We sneeze when we're sick, when we've got to get some stuff that goes in your nose, you have to sneeze that out. Your eyes, you blink 4 times a second. Why? It's basically windscreen wiper for your eyes, and you got eyelashes. If you didn't have eyelashes, then your eyes would keep getting dust in, so you'd have to blink more. And then if you didn't have eyelids, your eyes would dry up. And if you didn't have, amazing, your whole system is amazing. Your balance system, you know what it takes to balance, just to walk? Eyes, to see what's where. You need muscles and tendons. Your foot basically senses what terrain am I walking on, and what is the exact angle of the earth that I'm on, and then you got obviously your inner ear. By the way, just to show you how unbelievable Torah is, what's the word for ear in Hebrew? Ozen. What's the word for balance in Hebrew?
I'm assuming something like that.
Izun. It's the same word. So they knew 2,000, 3,000 years ago, that the ear imbalance. You got this inner ear stuff going on with the ears. Now it says the stretch of your muscles in your legs and the pressure of your feet on the ground. Basically, there's many, many, many different things going on just for you to be able to walk and not fall over the whole time. Obviously, when you drink alcohol, you like mess up the system. That's why you just can't walk. Or when you spin around, that messes up your ear. And amazing. So that's just a little bit of the fun that I was having. I was like, that's an awesome system. So if anything goes wrong, then the system doesn't really work so well. So do you know what's going on in your body right now just to keep you alive and listening to me and being aware? Am I thirsty, not thirsty? Billions of things that you're not aware of at all are going on right now in your system just to keep you alive. That's unbelievable. It's amazing. So our second thing that we really have to start contemplating is this. That we have this unbelievable body. And it comes out of the mother. This was created in your mother. By the way, we haven't even started to speak about the development of a child in the womb. That's crazy. You've got an egg and a cell. I won't tell you how the seed gets to the egg. Maybe when you're older we can talk about that one. But the seed gets to the egg somehow. By the way, that's a cell that can move and swim. Not all your cells can swim, but that cell needs to swim, so it swims. And it's going, and then it finds the egg, goes in eggs, and then you got egg and seed. And then from that egg and seed created this. That's crazy. It's an amazing thing. And then it divides up. And then all of the food is given. The baby basically gets supplied exactly the food it needs. Hopefully if the mother is eating properly through the mother, and then the mother gives birth to the child. Wow. Oh, good, how are you? Baruch Hashem. Growth is amazing. It's amazing, Baruch Hashem. I'm being serious. Chazak to you. In having been brought all the nourishment, everything you need in perfect proportion to your needs. V'yachshav b'nafsho, and this you should really think. Now you got to think. Ilu haya chaseh mitchilat briyato mibli einayim. Now, if you were lacking one of these things, your life would be very difficult. And by the way, there are lots of people who are lacking. People are born without these things, and people are born with problems, and that creates a whole difficulty in your life. So the fact that you're basically okay, that's amazing. Do you know how many things could go wrong? How many things could go wrong with your system? Billions of things could go wrong at any point, and unfortunately they do in some people. But the fact that at the moment you're sitting here and you're basically good, that's unbelievable. So you got this book. Now, let's say you'd lacked anything, and then someone came and basically gave you your eyesight back. How much would you be grateful for that? That's amazing. Let's say, God forbid, you were blind, and then I came up with an operation, and I could make you see again. How much would you appreciate seeing, and how would you appreciate me for doing that operation? I give you $5 million for your eyes. $5 million for both your eyes. You take it?
I negotiate out the
$10 million for both your eyes?
I do one eye.
No, both eyes.
No.
No. You wouldn't take $10 million for both your eyes. How about both your legs? $5 million for both your legs.
I don't know, 5 million legs. You buy like bionic legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, probably 5 million.
Yeah. Let's say you can't buy bionic legs. No bionic legs, though. The deal is $5 million for your legs, but you can't get bionic legs. You can't have legs now. $5 million to not have legs anymore. Probably not. So you got $15 million worth of stuff there right now. So how often do you sit and think, oh my goodness, oh, 15 million. And by the way, we've only done eyes and legs. What about both your arms? your stomach, your heart. So how often do you just sit there and being like, I'm a billionaire. I'm just walking around with billions of... You value your eyes at $10 million, correct? But do you really? You don't, though. You do, but you don't. Because otherwise you'd be walking around the whole time being like, oh my goodness, that's unbelievable. What you should do is actually you should blindfold yourself for a day or 2 or 3. Do that.
How can I learn?
Well, you shouldn't actually do that, but you should do that. Or you should tie your thumbs down for a day. That is worth it. Tie your thumbs down for a day. How are you going to do up your shirt, open bottles? They're very difficult. It's difficult. Amazing. Or keep your eyes open for any time. Unbelievable. The sleep system, we haven't even started. So, this is our practical thing. I think we're very lucky because we say Asher Yatzah. So, we don't need to necessarily set aside a separate time for this. More kavanah with Asher Yatzah. And being like, hold on, this is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. That this whole system is the most mind-blowing system. What robot could go like this? What robot would want to go like that? Even more important.
Someone who's intimidating you.
You could do anything.
It's so difficult.
Do you, apart from when you're very, very stoned and you're like, oh my goodness, hands look so amazing, man. Oh, why don't you do that when you're not stoned? Why don't you just be like, that is amazing. And by the way, just thinking about it makes it move. I want to move my middle finger now. How did that work? I just wanted to move it and it moved. A message. I just had this power of ratzon, of desire. I want to lift up my arm now. I want to put it down now. How did that work? How did the ratzon tell the brain to send a message to the arm and then the arm did it? And by the way, I don't want to put my arm up now. Now I do. I don't want to put it down now. Now I do. How does that work? That took 6 years of training in Nepal to actually even be able to... It's not true. I learned it when I was about 4 from my babysitter. It was amazing, no? You should just freak out that your hands can go like that. Stand up, walking. Well, as you're walking today, walk somewhere and be like, it's amazing. Do you know how many systems have to work for you to walk? Well, we just did the balance system. To breathe, your breathing is just happening, keeping you... How the oxygen goes in... Sometimes oxygen comes in and it goes into your lungs, and then your lungs pull out the oxygen, and your blood then pumps the oxygen around, and then the parts of your body that need oxygen then it's like a train system of blood, and then that cell gives off and then the oxygen's used in that thing that... You should freak out all the time. You should just sit there freaking out about your body all the time. Now, you shouldn't, because you've got other things to do. But you should do it for 2 minutes a day, or at least when you're saying Asher Yatzah. That's our one for today. So we're going to... I need to print you out the sheets. Day 1 of the month is that you exist. Day 2 of the month is freaking out about your body.
So for Thursday?
Yeah, we're going to start on Thursday. We're going to just keep